It is a sweltering afternoon here at Fenway Park in Boston. Baseball weather, to say the least. The final weekend of July is here, which means the trade deadline is right around the corner. The stakes are getting higher, and the Red Sox are very much in the playoff race. The Los Angeles Dodgers in town for the weekend. Just a little three-game homestand, all against the Dodgers, the defending champs, National League West leaders, taking on a Red Sox team that has lost four out of six. They are 2-4 since the All-Star break, but a huge come-from-behind win on Wednesday. Alex Bregman, the Red Sox, managed to avoid the sweep in each of those two series, first at Wrigley Field, then in Philadelphia. We welcome you to batting practice live from Fenway Park. Tom Caron and Devin Marrero with you here on the field. Red Sox getting to work as batting practice about to begin in just a few moments. We will share the sights and sounds of batting practice, hear from people throughout the afternoon as well, keeping you company right up until 5:30 when Friday Night Fenway, presented by the Friendly Toast, comes your way to kick off 90 minutes of pregame coverage. Good news there is we will be in the air-conditioned studio. But you love this weather. You baseball guys love this weather.
I'm made for this. Miami boy, that Cuban blood. This is baseball weather right here. This is summer ball in Boston. I'm excited for this weekend.
Good for the hitters. Offense, a day like this at Fenway, the ball carries a little bit. Hitters love this.
Yeah, this is one of those times where when it's hot, the ball flies a little bit. Use that wall, beat that thing up all weekend. And that's what these boys need to do.
Red Sox coming off a wild come-from-behind extra innings win, their first extra innings win on the road this season. 9-8 the final, down 5-0. Roman Gonzalez, the grand slam, took advantage of some walks, and then Carlos Narvaez ending it with the two-run homer in the top of the 11th inning. How big was that win? You're down 5-0 in the middle innings, facing being swept, facing losing 5 out of 6. Like, that had the feel of a season, I don't want to say saving, but kind of turning the momentum completely around on a season.
Yeah, you're at the point of the season now where you need to win games, and whenever you can avoid a sweep, you want to do that, and that's what they did. They did it back-to-back series, and what I liked about that Philadelphia series was they were in all the games a little bit, where in the Cubs series, the game kind of ran out of control, but that Philly series, they were more locked in, and that's usually what happens after the All-Star break. You come in and a little off timing for a couple of days, you have 4 days, not really seeing pitching every day. But these guys, that bats look better in that Philadelphia series.
Looking at Carlos Narvaez right now after 2 catcher's interference. One that was a walk-off, which we hadn't seen in more than 50 years in Major League Baseball. How good did it have to feel for him to hit that extra innings home run to get the win?
After the game, just getting interviewed after every loss that they had, and after the game, he's like, all right, these are the interviews I like to do. These are fun, and that's what you want to see from a guy who they're calling the captain, you know, and that's the leader of the clubhouse, the leader of the pitching staff, controlling the pitching staff. But yeah, it's good to see kind of helping the team out when you kind of didn't the couple days before.
Talking with David Hamilton. David Hamilton here as Marcelo Meyer has been placed on the IL, came out of that game with the right wrist soreness. It's a concern because back in 2022 in the minors, he had a wrist issue that he had to deal with. And Marcelo Meyer, I felt like, was really just hitting his stride at the major league level.
Yeah, and that's what's tough, you know, especially with these young guys, especially he wasn't playing every day like he wanted to up here, and then you had this injury, and then he's going to have to kind of go back to the minor leagues. He's not going to do the old Bregman rehab thing where he's, hey, I'm ready to go, I'm just going to go back to the big league. So this is going to hinder him a little bit, but he knows how to handle injuries that's been happening to him for the past couple of years. So he knows how to go about his business. He's had this injury before, so he'll be just fine handling it.
David Hamilton, of course, been here before. They know what they get with him, the speed, the ability to play multiple positions, the ability to start a game or come off the bench. He's a versatile weapon for Alex Cora.
I think so, too. Sending him down to the minor leagues and getting everyday at-bats kind of got him locked in a little bit. Hopefully you see that here now, where kind of can work on some things in the minor leagues, whereas when you're up here, you're just grinding at bat after at bat, trying to put something in play. But when you go down to the minor leagues, you can work on some tough, work on the approach, work on your swing a little bit more, get more into depth and try and be risky and trying things a little bit. So hopefully he comes back here, can help this ball club.
All right, take a look at Trevor Story and what a turnaround he has had this season. The early struggles well behind him now. This guy has become the Trevor Story of old, the Trevor Story that people in Colorado got to watch. Trevor Story, who went to 2 All-Star games, finally seeing that because he's finally healthy with the Red Sox.
Yeah, and he's finally getting some games under his belt. You know, I did a bunch of interviews early in the season. I was like, this guy will be just fine. He's Trevor Story. I always say, hitters hit. No matter how long it's going to take, they're going to come back and get back to normal selves. And he's just getting games under his belt, seeing some more pitches, looking more comfortable with his plate discipline, which is the most important thing for him, because when he hits the ball real hard.
And take a look at Wilyer Abreu. Had a lot of talk about a Red Sox outfielder being moved at the deadline. I think coming into the season, there was a lot of talk about it being Wilyer Abreu. There's not much talk about that now because this guy, his offense has come together to go with that Gold Glove caliber defense.
Yeah, and this kid's a freaking stud. Like, he is so good, and he just plays his game the right way, plays the game hard. His defense is unbelievable out there in right field. Now that he has a year under his belt, he's more comfortable in right field, and he's just an everyday kind of player that you want to stick out there, and it's always a good problem to have if you have too many outfielders, you know?
No doubt about that. Now, a lot of rumors today that the Red Sox flatly rejected an offer from the San Diego Padres that basically centered around Dylan Cease, covered the Red Sox for Jarren Duran. Dylan Cease, free agent after the season. That would be a lot to give up for a rental player. There were other players involved, but it's interesting. You just have to feel if they're going to move an outfielder, it's going to be for somebody they have under control.
Yeah, and that's the thing that you look at the trade deadline this year. There really isn't that many names out there that you could have under control for a couple years, you know. So the trade deadline is going to be a little tricky. It's going to be little pieces. I don't think we're going to see big moves this trade deadline.
You take a look at Masataka Yoshida. The perfect form.
So
perfect
beautiful.
Form as a runner. Perfect form as a hitter. Balance. But what he has meant to this team since coming back, we've talked a lot about it. A professional hitter. Bat-to-ball skills, a guy who doesn't strike out very often, and he has delivered exactly that.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to get from him throughout the whole season. You know, he's a guy where this team was the team that was striking out a lot majority of the year, and he comes and impacts the lineup in a way where he's putting the ball in play, and you see the approach, and guys will kind of feed off of that for the rest of the lineup.
You take a look as we look through some of these players getting their workouts in today. Jarren Duran, just talked about him. A little different role for him this year. Last year, he was playing every day. Remember, he was going to play 162. The suspension ultimately sat him for 2 games, and that derailed that. This year, not in the lineup every day against left-handed pitching, so he's learning to deal with that and still be at his best.
And that's what I love about this team. It's the healthy competition that's happening all over the diamond, especially in the outfield. Sadan's playing unbelievable. Brady's playing unbelievable. Roman Anthony came onto the scene, started slow, but now he's showing why he was the #1 prospect in baseball. So it's cool to see these guys compete and kind of playing the roles that they're given and not complaining about it, which you want to see with the team.
All right, batting practice live here as we get ready for a big weekend against the Los Angeles Dodgers. We're going to take a break and come back with more as we continue. Red Sox with their signed draftees from this most recent draft out here, catching up with some of the pros, some of the major leaguers, saying hello to them. We'll be joined a little bit by Kyson Witherspoon, their first-round pick, as we continue. It's batting practice live from Fenway Park in Boston. Devin and I return after this. And we welcome you back. Batting practice live from Fenway Park. Red Sox getting ready for a big weekend against the Dodgers. And we are joined by the first-round pick of the Red Sox just a couple weeks ago, Kyson Witherspoon, here in the uniform. How's it feel to be at Fenway Park?
Feels awesome. It's unreal.
Take me through the process a little bit. You know, you were one of the top pitchers in the draft, and you knew it was coming. When did you start to think it might be the Red Sox, and what sort of feeling as you get closer to that 15th pick? What goes through your mind?
Yeah, I think it was after the 8th pick. I think it was the Blue Jays, and then I saw the Red Sox coming up, and I really liked my interview at the Combine, so Red Sox were always in the back of my mind. And then I think I got the call 2 picks before saying that I'm going to be a Boston Red Sox, so it was really unreal, just amazing.
Had you been here to Fenway Park before?
Never.
It's your first time?
Yes, sir.
What do you think? Turn around. There it is. The Green Monster is going to be over your shoulder in here. So what's it feel like? It's a different ballpark, right?
Yeah, it's unreal. Compared to Fort Myers, this place is unreal.
A historic franchise.
Yes, sir.
Historic ballpark, right? What does that mean to you?
Just a lot of history. I feel like I can make my name on it.
Your journey, you were a great shortstop.
Yes,
really
sir.
good two-way player. Went to JUCO as a 2-year player. You know, that process of kind of, all right, I'm going to devote myself to pitching. And it obviously paid off. You were so good at Oklahoma, Golden Spikes finalist, all that came together. But that's not always easy, right?
Yeah.
Guys like being the shortstop.
Yep.
That's the captain of the team.
Yes,
Take us
sir.
through that process. How was it to finally commit to being a pitcher and that being your goal?
Yeah, I think the biggest reason for me changing was just the workload. Being a shortstop and pitching, just the tax to put on my arm and my body. I had the conversation with my coaches, what do you think I'm going to go farther as, pitcher or hitter? They said pitcher, and then I bought into it right there.
The velocity really ticked up. Obviously, the fastball plays, but your slider's gotten great reviews. The change, the cutter ball come together. But it often starts with the velocity.
Yes, sir.
When did that velocity come, and what was the work behind it? How did you get to that?
Yeah, I think the velocity really came last year, and then just me maturing as a pitcher, getting more comfortable in my body, and as a pitcher, getting my mechanics down, just really settling down into that, just helped the velocity come and just staying on top of my recovery and things like that.
Early conversations with the Red Sox pitching group, what have they been like so far?
Awesome. I like the mindset they have for us and just the plan they have set out for me. I can't wait to get started.
10 Twins have played at Major League Baseball in the history of this great game, more than 100 years of history. Your twin brother, Malachi, second-round pick, he's here. Tigers picked him. Tell me a little about your relationship and how cool it is that you were both drafted in the top 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's my best friend. He's been with me everywhere. This is the first time we've been apart. Just something else to get used to, but the fact that he's here means the world to me. And then I think our journeys, they kind of separate 2 different roads, but I feel like we're going to meet soon enough, you know. You
got to be there for his signing day. He gets to be here for you today.
Yes, sir.
How much does that mean to you, your family, and each other?
Everything. They've been with me my whole life, and then just for them to be a part of it's a dream come true.
I know your mother, you've talked a lot about how inspirational she's been to both of you and what a role model she's been. You get drafted in the first round.
Yes, sir.
You get to share that with your family.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
That's all I worked for. Just be able to see my mom's face when I got the call just meant the world to me. It's all the sweat and tears I put into this game just means the world. I can finally give back.
In many ways, is that almost more special than having it for yourself, being able to share it with your family?
Definitely.
I've talked to guys over the years, and that's when it gets emotional, right?
Yeah.
When you look at your mom.
Yeah, I'm trying not to right now. I can't look at her again.
I'm trying to bring it out of you. No,
Yeah.
that's fine. Finally, talk a little about the road ahead. What are next steps for you? When do you get to work? What have you talked about as far as where you go from here?
Yeah, road ahead, I think just go through rookie camp. I'm building up again. I had a good no-throw, so I'm trying to build up again, start bullpens in a couple weeks, and just see what the team's got for me. I'm all in.
I'll ask you finally, a lot of Red Sox fans watching and getting to see you for the first time. Look right in that camera and tell Red Sox fans, what are they going to get in Kyson Witherspoon?
You're going to get a competitor. I'm going to give my best every day. I'm going to work for you guys.
Can't ask more than that.
Yes,
Kyson, it is a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to Boston.
Thank you, sir.
Kyson Witherspoon with us. We'll take that. Let you get back to work. A lot of people waiting for you. That's Kyson Witherspoon, first-round draft pick. Great interview. We appreciate the visit. His twin brother, Malachi, here. The last time he'll be here, that he's not in a Tigers uniform. I think that's safe to say as they get ready to go. Go ahead. Roman Anthony trying to walk by. Roman Anthony saying hi. How you doing, Roman? Here's Devin. Devin's back.
We're back.
After glad handing with Roman Anthony. Kyson Witherspoon, you know, you watch it, his twin brother. It's an amazing story, right? His twin got drafted by the Tigers in the second round. Kyson got to be at his brother's signing day last week with the Tigers.
Awesome.
The Tigers let him be here today. It's got to be special to have a twin when you're both drafted like that.
That's a happy mom and dad right there. I mean, they've done a great job with those 2 kids, and to have 2 guys continue to pursue their career in Major League Baseball is pretty special. And man, to have a brother, like I had cousins, but to have a brother, that's
you
that's
understand
different level.
because you had cousins. You understood how tough it is for any individual to make it to the show, let alone brothers or twins. There's only been 10 twins in the history of Major League Baseball who have both played in Major League Baseball.
That's some healthy competition growing up all day. I'm sure they fight over whoever finishes their food first. You know, they've been competing since they came out the womb. So it's really cool to see brothers just continue to pursue their dreams and do it together. That's the most important journey.
You were a first-round draft pick of the Red Sox. Those early days, the introductions here, your first visit to Fenway. Take us through what that feels like.
It's fun, man, because you have, you know, your mom. I had my mom, my sisters who have been my support system and kind of who I played for, right? That to be here and see me walk out into the field and, you know, actually be there for my signing, and it's emotional for them because, you know, they saw the sacrifice that I put on myself and for our whole family to get here and to continue my dream and to see it pay off. It's one of those things where, you know, hey, you're doing it's like the check mark, like, hey, I'm doing the right thing, and this is the first step for me getting to my ultimate dream of getting to the big leagues. Looking
in the dugout right now, these are all the signed picks, the high draft round picks who are here today. It's such a special time. You know, every year we get to meet the new draftees, and the work's about to begin. Right? They're going to go down to the low minors, and the long road to the show begins, and that's where you start. But today is the moment you get to sort of enjoy it, right? The work to be drafted is behind you. The work to become a major leaguer is about to begin. But today, you get to just enjoy being a professional draft pick, a Major League Baseball draft pick. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's everything. Today is the day where you get to kind of take that deep breath and just smile and have fun and relax and meet everybody. You know, I got to come out here and take ground balls with the whole infield. So it's one of those things you can come out here, relax, and just enjoy the moment and feel free because, you know, after today, he's getting on the bus and going down to Lowell or wherever the guys are starting now and eating that terrible food and back to the long bus rides. And reality's going to hit, but he should enjoy it today for sure.
Very cool moment right now. Shohei Ohtani talking to Masataka Yoshida in the outfield here at Fenway Park. And Yamamoto there as well. So they all know each other well from the World Baseball Classic together as well as professional baseball in Japan. Ohtani will not pitch here.
Good.
But the bat has been doing enough damage. Tied a Dodger record with a home run in 5 consecutive games. He'll look to make it 6 in a row. He's a special player. He is the face of Major League Baseball right now. He has done things no one has ever done. And I don't want to hear Babe Ruth. I'm talking no one has ever done.
Yeah, this is going to be a guy that if he continues to do this for even the next 2 years, he's going to be probably considered the best baseball player of all time. You know, it was Trout for a while, and now it's Ohtani doing it from both sides of the ball. And what this guy can do, and what's cool about the Japanese players coming over here is like being embraced and really enjoying the Major League life.
Just a couple of moments. They're expecting Walker Buehler to get his World Series ring. Walker Buehler just came out and walked out onto the field here. Very cool that he will get his World Series ring. If he hasn't already, he has opted for a quiet ceremony. Doesn't want to do it on the field. He's going to talk to the media about it in just a little bit. But it's late July. It's about time he gets the bling.
He deserves it. He came out that last inning and absolutely showed. And that's the guy who really went through that minor league system, right, and went through the process of finding an ultimate goal of getting a World Series ring, and he deserves it, man. I'm so proud of him. And it's cool that he's doing it privately. I'm sure if we played at Dodger Stadium, it would be a huge parade. But here, the respect for the Red Sox fans doing it privately is the right thing to do.
Talking to our own Josh June from Nesson, our Vice President Content, talking to Walker Buehler right now. So we'll get the scoop. We got an intrepid reporter there. But back to Ohtani and what he has meant to baseball, really, right? I mean, a two-way player who has excelled to the point where you're talking about him, you know, winning a home run total and winning a Cy Young. I mean, he's in the conversation for both of those type of things every year.
Yeah, and when would you ever have thought in baseball you'd be talking about one guy leading those 2 runs? Like, it really is impressive to see, and this guy is just a special player. And, you know, I heard an interview of Pedro talking to him about how he wants to be like Pedro, and Pedro was like his role model. So that's cool to see. I know he has a special feeling here in Boston, because Boston has a history of signing Japanese foreign players here and creating that Boston fan club over there in Japan.
We're told, by the way, Walker Buehler got his ring a few minutes ago, so he's now in the afterglow.
It's in his locker in the corner, probably putting his book bag on to the next start here this weekend.
So very cool that he gets to see and pitch against on Sunday his former team that won it all last year. And remember, a lot of these guys with the Dodgers were there when they won it all in 2020. In the height of COVID, no celebration, very quiet, didn't count, no parade, yada, yada. So to come back and get it last year meant a lot, not just to the organization, but to the players who were part of both of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's an organization that, you know, the Dodgers have really worked hard on really promoting baseball and bringing it to the highest level, signing all these all-stars, all these superstars. And to see that pay off kind of shows all the owners that, hey, you need to pay players to win in this league. And so they're setting the example. For me as a player, I love to see that because I'm an advocate for paying guys and raising the money for these players. So it's good to see an organization like that paying guys and getting the benefit of winning a championship.
Ohtani talking to Alex Cora now, former Dodger himself. Don't forget, we think of him as a world champion Red Sox player here, but he was with the Dodgers, obviously, for a long time. It was very special that he got to be a part of that organization, as well as what he accomplished here. When he was here, they won it all, and he was an important part of that, a guy who had been picked up prior to that 07 season, and then, you know, came in and talks about how much and how well he played in April of that month before Pedroia finally, and the laser show was born. But Alex Cora, a guy who, you know, one of those guys who's a glue guy, who's you know, maybe not a headliner on a team, but those are the pieces you need. And the Dodgers have done a really good job. You talk about paying the superstars, but you got to augment that. And they are looking to do that, as they have struggled here. 6-4 in the last 10, which for them is struggling. You know, I think their lead's at 4.5 games over the Padres in the West. But you start to wonder, what will they do at the deadline? Because the idea was that they would be deadline proof. They would have to add anything because they spent all the money in the offseason. But that bullpen hasn't been what they expected, right? Kirby Yates has not been what they'd hoped. He walked all three batters he faced yesterday. Freddie Freeman got on the walk-off, Wednesday rather. So it's an interesting conversation where you thought that the Dodgers were built to run away and hide. It's not happening. They got a battle. Yeah,
and that's baseball right now, right? They have a struggling outfield that really isn't producing like they wanted to. Conforto's not really doing what he was supposed to be doing when they signed him over here. But I feel like they're going to do some small moves, some little pieces here and there that they always do a really good job of finding that one guy that is on the last string of his career and he comes over to the Dodgers and just blows up, you know. So they're good at finding those pieces. You won't see a blockbuster trade from them this year. It'll be little pieces just like they've been doing.
Bullpen help, right? That, and it's every year, every contender talks about bullpen help because bullpens win in the playoffs, right? We know that now. It was somewhat revolutionary when Cora started doing it, and with that 2018 team, when they basically were using their starters on their side days to go out and pitch an inning, and ultimately using Chris Sale to save the final inning of that World Series against the Dodgers. But now that's what every team does. You're happy to get 3-4 innings out of your starters in the playoffs, so bullpens are everything. You need a strong staff to make the playoffs. You need a dominant bullpen to win in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's kind of how the game is going nowadays, right? You get, like you said, 4 innings out of your starter. You're like, yes, thank you. Like, you're not going to face a lineup 3 times in the playoffs. That just doesn't exist unless you're winning by 5-0 or 8-0. So you really need a strong bullpen that can kind of go day in and day out throughout the playoffs because those games are back-to-back. And it's very important to build that strong bullpen, which where I think personally is kind of one of the Red Sox strengths moving forward is their bullpen. They can always add some help, but having a good bullpen is a great place to start.
And we're looking at Garrett Whitlock, a huge part of it. Looks like they've sort of settled in on that 1-inning role for him, and he's been very good at it.
Yeah, that's his role. You know, the whole starting thing, it's going back and forth. I think with him just coming off that injury too, kind of stick him in the bullpen and let him just do his routine and know that, hey, we just need 1 great inning out of you. You don't need to work on your stuff to lengthen you out in a game. We want your best stuff for 1 inning, and that's what you're going to get from him.
They went to Chapman early the other day, got 4 outs out of him. Brendan Bernardino ultimately gets his first major league save, so Brigham and Bernie finally gets brought in at the end of the game, in the 11th inning in this case. But interesting, because Cora said there'll come a time where I start using Chapman, deploying him in key moments. Well, that time is now. Shows you the urgency there looking at these games right now in late July.
I'll tell you what, if Ohtani comes up in the 8th inning today or this weekend, Chapman's coming in to go right after him. That's why I love Cora, his way of thinking. It's not the original way, this guy's on the 9th every inning. Like, he's very methodical of how he goes about the game. He thinks about the game long term, sees things before they happen, and he gets these guys enough time to get ready to come in into the 7th or to the 8th, and kind of gives them the plan, hey, if this situation comes up, you're in. I don't care what inning it's in. So it's pretty cool to see managers do more and more of that so often now.
Watching batting practice live here at Fenway Park as the Red Sox get ready for Game 1 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Saw Abraham Toro in the cage a couple moments ago. Boys, he done a great job settling down the discussion at first base. Now we're looking at Cedar Rafaela, a guy who, again, has shown you he can play second base when they need him to, but a guy who really has become one of the elite center fielders in the game.
He's a player, man. At the end of the day, this guy can just flat out play, gets after it in center field. You put him at, I mean, last year he spent time in center field and shortstop. That's hard to do. You see Mookie Betts do it this year and having some struggles with that. It's hard to go from the outfield to the infield, but it just shows you how athletic and he just wants to go out there and play. That's what I love about the Island boys. All those guys from Aruba and all those countries, they just want to come out here and play baseball, have a great time, and just compete. So it's fun to watch.
You know, it's interesting, too. He talked a lot about now all he wants to do is win.
Yep.
And that seems obvious, but last year, I think he was still developing at the major league level, right? You got to be able to show you can do it every day before you can start thinking about the little things. He says, if I go 0 for 4 and we win, you'll see a smile ear to ear. And I'm not sure a young guy a year ago was thinking that way.
That's the maturity, though, I think that Bregman has brought to his clubhouse of showing these guys, hey, just go about your business every day. It's all about winning and kind of bringing a different culture to this team that you really handed a young team last year. Hey, you guys figure it out yourselves. They're all learning in the big leagues, kind of figure out your culture. But bringing Bregman was a key piece for this club, and having Ref Snyder and Romy kind of put all these young guys together and be like, hey, we'll take care of all the media and stuff like that. You just go out here and play and do your thing, and it'll all take care of itself.
How difficult is playing shortstop and center field last year, second base when needed this year? Those are the most important defensive positions in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. It's one of those things where the outfield and infield are two completely different things, you know, especially fly balls in center field and going to second and shortstop. Those are completely different arm angles, different throws. So you're really dealing with a lot of different aspects of the game and seeing the ball come off the bat differently in all of those positions. I mean, going from shortstop to third base to second base, even to first base, are just completely different views of the game and views of the ball coming off the bat. So it really is awesome to see these young guys just show up here and really show examples of, hey, we're here to win. That sets the example for the young guys in AAA coming up, like, hey, whatever your role is, wherever we ask of you to do, go out there and do it to the best that you can, you know. And, you know, in the minor leagues, they're giving these guys reps at every position and kind of rotating them around so that when they get up here, they're not uncomfortable. So
for fans right now, sort of take us through what your approach was to batting practice. What were you, on a game you were in the lineup, what were you trying to accomplish right now?
So most of my drills and everything that I would do in the cage. So when I come out here, I would just work on just seeing the ball and just driving the ball back up the middle, low line drives. I was a line drive guy. So that kind of was my thing, especially off the machine, just getting the timing and kind of seeing velocity was the most important thing when I came out to BP, especially with the machine that we see out here today, that getting the spin rate up to kind of replicate what you're going to see in the game, which is so cool with all these fancy machines nowadays, you know what I mean? So, yeah, just BP was just about feeling myself and seeing what I was doing in the cage, getting translated to the field, and seeing the ball just kind of travel a little bit further than what it does in the cage.
As David Hamilton walks by us, back with the club. And how different was it when you knew you weren't in the lineup? Because that became your work for the day, right?
Yeah, my work was always the same, but I would do a little bit more when I wasn't playing. I would crank up the velo a little bit and take maybe one more round, take a little bit more ground balls, maybe move around in the infield a little bit. You know, I was a utility guy, so like majority of the time when I was in Boston, I was playing third base. So the day I was playing, I would take all my ground balls at third base. But days I wasn't playing, I was out there with Bogey, out there with Petey, messing around with Brock, going all over the diamond and in the outfield. So, you know, it all just depends on where I was in the lineup that day and just getting my work in.
That part of it was your happy place.
Oh, the best. I could play. I want to go out there right now and just grab a glove and show these guys I still got it. I mean, that's defense for me. Ground balls I could do all day.
I have no doubt you could go out there and do it now. All right, we are rolling with you right up until 5:30 when Friday Night Fenway Fueled by the Friendly Toast begins. I'm going to go get ready for that. Alanna Rizzo is going to step in and take over. You're going to stay here for a bit. Lenny DiNardo will be along. They will be with me. We got everybody here. It's a big weekend. It's the Red Sox and the Dodgers, and we're taking you right up to first pitch on NESN. Batting practice live from Fenway Park rolls on after this. Stay with us.
All right, guys, welcome back. I am now joining you.
TC
did such a good. I know,
transformed.
I look different,
You transformed.
right? I know,
a lot hotter, TC.
Yes, well, I don't know about that, but thank you very much, Alanna Rizzo. Now, kind of joining the batting practice show crew. What are we doing here?
BP Live, baby.
We're working on my IFB issues right now, but we're going to get it all taken care of. All right, so TC and you were just on here, obviously, Devin, talking about this is a big series, and I certainly don't want to repeat anything you guys have talked about, but this is a series I'm sure a lot of folks, for a variety of reasons, are kind of circling on the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big series, right? I was on the plane last night from LA over here, and the plane was filled with Dodger fans, which you love to see.
Yeah.
But this is a team that you're going against that has done it, right? And you want to see how the boys respond to a team that has done it, has had success, and really you want to see how they react this week after coming off a tough road series here the past couple games. So it's a big series for the Red Sox and for the fans.
And this is an interesting situation too, Devin, because this is a team in both sides of this contest that they're kind of limping their way into the series. Obviously, before the All-Star break, Red Sox rattling off 10 straight wins, right? Coming out of the break, though, they were a little bit flat. Same with the Los Angeles Dodgers. So this is a team that they're both probably saying, maybe we can get ourselves right.
Yeah, and these teams can kind of get themselves right, you know, and you kind of want to run into a team. If you're the Boston Red Sox, run into a Dodgers team that's kind of still figuring themselves out, having a struggling bullpen, have a struggling outfield core, you know. So it's really a good time for the Red Sox to jump on the Dodgers and get some hope and get some momentum going like they had before the All-Star break. And that's what I always hate the All-Star break. It usually comes at a time where you're just
I'm sure
rolling.
the Red Sox didn't want to take the break, right?
And then your timing is off for 4 days, and you come back and you're kind of trying to feel yourself a little bit, like you saw with Bayo and Giolito, right? Like the first couple innings for them were just them trying to feel the ball a little bit, and that's just normal. That stuff's going to happen. So this is a series for the Red Sox to kind of get going.
All right, you talked about the Red Sox getting going. They're going to have to do it today against starter Emmett Sheehan. Tomorrow is going to be Clayton Kershaw and Garrett Crochet. That's going to be a really fun matchup. What do they need to do to be effective against Sheehan tonight?
They just need to see pitches and drive the ball up the middle, hit low line drives, and don't really worry about driving the ball. This is a young kid, right, that fresh into the big leagues. You know, make him work, make him earn it. You know, the Cathedral of Boston will scare some kids, and this is a kid that is from this area.
Yeah.
So this is a big game. Emotions are going to be high for him. It's kind of just bring him back down to reality and kind of, hey, this is the big leagues, and just drive the ball all over the yard and do what they did before the break, was just see pitches, not strike out as much, and really put the ball in play and show how versatile this team really is.
It's funny because we just had the Red Sox 3 high-level prospects getting interviewed here, and that's the first thing they said. It was just like, wow, walking into Fenway for the first time, and he's from this area. He's probably been Emmett Sheehan. He's probably been at Fenway before. It's a whole different animal, Devin, when you have to take the mound here in what I anticipate being a sold-out crowd.
Yeah, the atmosphere this weekend is going to be pretty close to playoff atmosphere, so it's going to be electric, it's going to be fun. And just walking here, even when I did my signing, when I first signed with the Red Sox in the first round, coming here was like, hey, this is Boston, like this is different. And then playing, now this got to be my home stadium for a long time, and you go to Wrigley and you go to Dodger Stadium, you go to all these amazing ballparks, but there's nothing like walking into Fenway and playing inside Fenway Park, especially as a visitor. It's completely different.
What do you remember about the first time taking the field as a player at Fenway?
It was just surreal. Like, this is all I was dreamed about. I just ran out there with my idol, Dustin Pedroia. We're on the same infield together. Like, it was just a surreal moment. But once that first pitch goes, it's like, all right, we're just back to the same old thing. Getting that first ground ball, like get that out of the way.
Yep.
And then after that, it was just back to regular baseball. But when you're out there in the infield, you look this way, it's like you see Fenway Park and the big letters. And like, this is where many historic games have happened and many historic players have been here. And the history, you just feel it when you're here in these same seats that they had back in the day, you know what I mean? So it's a special place, and I really recommend everyone to come out here to at least for a series.
You know, I don't want you to speak for Walker Buehler. I would never ask you to put yourself in another player's head, but he's going up against his former club, right? He's thrown some massive innings for the Los Angeles Dodgers, including in the postseason. What do you anticipate is going through, if it were you, what would you anticipate is kind of going through his mind today?
Watching Buehler this whole season and kind of watching closely to his career, he's a dog. He's going to go out there, he's going to compete. And, you know, he was a guy that wanted to go back to the Dodgers. He felt at home there. That was his family. He signed there. He was there for many, many years. So he wants to show them and prove to them, hey, I was worth that qualifying offer, you know. So he's going to go out there tomorrow and just compete, and he's going to represent that name on the front. It's not going to be about the back. That's just not who he is. He's going to show, like, hey, I joined a real ball club. I'm going to show you guys why they signed me and why I came here.
Yeah, Walker Buehler obviously has already had some big moments in his career. He's hoping that that continues against his former club in the Los Angeles Dodgers. Let's talk about a guy that the Red Sox fans know very well, Mookie Betts. Not here right now, not in the lineup. How do the Red Sox take advantage? Now, in fairness, Mookie has been slumping. It's not been the Mookie that we're accustomed to seeing, but you got to take advantage of a lineup that doesn't have Mookie in it.
When Mookie's not in the lineup, you're like, yes. Another guy we don't have to worry about when you're on the opposition, right? That's one of the best players in the game, a guy that plays the game the right way and impacts a game. He's slumping, but you know what he's doing defensively? He's one of the best shortstops in the game right now defensively.
A lot of people question that.
You know, so Mookie's going to beat you in so many ways when he's in the lineup. I mean, you could look at his stats hitting-wise. They're not what they normally are, but he's doing other little things. And he's a leader, one of the leaders in this clubhouse, one of the voices for the hitting plans for this team. So him not being here, not being in the lineup, he's going to have to take advantage because when he's here, it's a complete different ball club.
Right, so Brayan Bello does not have to face Mookie Betts in this lineup today. Let's talk about Bello specifically. When this year started, even into kind of the middle ground of the first half of the season, Devin, Brayan Bello could not get into the sixth inning for whatever reason. The last 4 starts, he continues to go deep into games. In fact, even throwing a complete game a couple of starts ago. What has been the biggest difference for him?
Me just attacking the zone and not trying to get too sexy with his pitches is what I always tell guys. Go after guys. His stuff is so electric. He's beating guys with 2 pitches. His sinker and his changeup, and he'll throw the slider and cutter there every once in a while. But it's that sinker. That sinker is so good, he could throw it 100 times and he still would be okay because it's that nasty. But you just see him trusting his sinker a little bit more and just attacking guys, not trying to strike everybody out. Now, I've been talking about that for a couple of years now with him, is when he wants to pitch to contact, that's when he's unhittable. It really is impressive just watching all the weak ground balls, how he just jams guys with that sinker. And he's just one of those guys that has the stuff that can beat you with only 2 pitches. So it's pretty nasty. He just needs to be in the zone.
All right, let me ask you about that, though, because you said he has the fastball and he obviously has a changeup, you said, right? So you mentioned he throws the slider sometimes. He also throws the cutter sometimes. How effective or how much more does he need to make one of those 2 other pitches part of his repertoire in a bigger way? Because I feel like if you're a 2-pitch pitcher, unless you have unbelievable stuff, people will figure you out. How much is the development of a 3rd out pitch key to his success moving forward?
Right now, he's a 2-3 starter, right? You add another electric pitch to his arsenal, he's the number 1. Okay. And that deal that he signed is a steal for the Red Sox. So him just trying to find that one extra pitch that kind of take him to the next level is going to make this guy a lot of money when he's done here in Boston.
When will you know that he has been comfortable enough with either that slider or the cutter for him to be able to take it into a game situation and be comfortable with that?
It's going to take time. Like, he's still young in his career. Like,
we want to rush these guys, right? Like, hurry up.
And this is a guy that they can take their time with. They already gave him the deal. There's nothing more that he needs to prove to get more money. Just go out there, go about your business, and work on the little things on your breaks and on your off days, you know. And little by little, you're seeing him be the pitcher that they signed him to be. And he's going to be, I predict him being a number 1 starter within the next 4 years because his sinker for me is too good.
Okay.
Like, he has one of the best sinkers in the game.
Well, hopefully it'll be for the Boston Red Sox. I don't know if folks at home saw Walker Buehler kind of walking behind us. The reason is he's going over to the Dodgers side because he is being presented today with his World Series ring. Obviously, Walker Buehler with the final out of the 2024 World Series. He's about to get his World Series ring. I believe Clayton Kershaw and Dave Roberts are going to hand it to him. So that'll be very interesting for Walker to get.
I think the whole clubhouse, Dodger clubhouse, is going to be in there to watch him receive that ring because he was a huge part of that team for so many years, the development of that kid. And him to get a ring, get that last out, you saw everyone, you know, when you see a pitcher win the World Series or a guy win the World Series with the last out, they run to whoever they love the most. Everyone ran straight to Walker Buehler. Like, everyone wanted to celebrate with Walker Buehler because that was a huge moment for him. It wasn't the best year of his career last year, but he got the last out of the World Series, and that was huge. And such a, like, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Just being in his shoes, having that feeling of the whole organization having your back, and they're all going to be in there watching that presentation.
And that's what both clubs want, obviously, this season, right, is to get, obviously the Red Sox want to get into the postseason. The Dodgers want to repeat as World Series champions. We'll see what happens as far as that goes, but a massive series here at Fenway Park. It is steamy. It is steamy, steamy, steamy.
Stay there, Clouds.
It was pouring when I got here at about 2:20. It looks like we're going to be okay as far as that is concerned. Let's talk a little bit about the physique and the hydration. It's hot. What do you do as a player?
I'm a Miami guy. This
well,
is normal for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's still hard to play in this mess.
It is. You just hydrate. I mean, the medical staff here is so good nowadays. The technology that they have, all the electrolytes and all the physios here, they keep these guys nice and fresh. The cryotherapy. So just staying on your routine and maybe dosing up the milligrams a little bit on the electrolytes and on some other things. You know what I mean? So that's the most important thing when these games are hot. But it's nice because it doesn't take a long time for you to get warmed up when you get out here. So the routine shortens a little bit when it starts getting hot here in the summer.
Yeah, just be grateful you're not a catcher and you're not wearing all that gear.
Never.
When you are playing in these conditions. All right, much more to come as the batting practice show continues on NESN. Still having IFB issues, so I can't tell if how much time we have left, but we're just going to keep talking.
Love it.
All right, guys, welcome back to the batting practice show here. It's the first time we've ever done this on NESN, and you'd think it's the first time I've ever broadcasted because I forgot my IFB, so I can't hear anything. So we're just going with it. Lenny DiNardo joining me now as Devin Marrero has taken a step back. We're going to continue on here until 5:30. So I was telling Devin, Lenny, that this is such a fun series, but this is also yet another opportunity for the Boston Red Sox to let everybody know that 10-game stretch prior to the All-Star game was not a fluke.
Yeah, and we all talked about after the All-Star break that upcoming few series are going to be very, very difficult because the competition is top-notch. And when you face the Cubs and the Phillies and you only take one from each series, that's not a good sign. But, again, this is a new day. You can go out there and do some damage against the L.A. Dodgers with Shohei Ohtani in town. This is a statement piece right here.
And they're home, though. That
and they're
helps.
home, and they've played very, very well at home. So that 10-game winning streak going into the All-Star break, I don't want to say it was a fluke. I feel like when they commit to that approach, whether it's on the mound or whether it's offensively or catching the ball and throwing it defensively, that contributes to wins no matter who they're playing against. When they've lost certain series throughout the season, it's not the competition that really beat them. It's themselves. It's the errors. It's the walks early, late in games, 2 outs, no out walks. It's not hitting in key situations, especially with 2 strikes, and K-ing often. When they get away from that type of baseball, I don't care who they're playing, they're going to win ball games.
And you bring up a good point about how those are the reasons that you didn't think that was a fluke in terms of the 10-game streak. What I noticed was a complete team throughout that. And what I meant by that is that guys were going deep into the game. The bullpen would shut it down. They were scoring 1 billion runs, giving their starting pitchers and the bullpen some much-needed run support. What were they doing ineffectively against the Cubs and the Phillies prior to coming back home?
Yeah, you can't give up the long ball early and often, right? When you start off behind and you're not scoring first, that always hurts your situation when it comes to winning ball games. But again, the simple combination for a winning effort is going out there and limiting the walks. If you're a starter, limiting the walks in a bullpen, kind of the intangibles, the things you can't really teach is when it's on the line, being able to make big league pitches and big league counts when it really matters, when the lights are on and when they're at their brightest. And when the bullpen can do that and they can make those pitches, and it starts with strike 1, and you can get to 0-2, 1-2 quick, then you're going to get these offenses to go out there and expand outside the strike zone and get themselves out. When you go 1-0, 2-0, then you got to come in the zone, and then they're going to be ready. Big league hitters are always going to take advantage of you getting behind in the count. And limit the strikeouts. Yeah. Offensively, you cannot go out there and strike out that many times. 10 or more strikeouts in a game statistically adds to a loss. It's a ton. You cannot do that. Yeah. And one thing that you pointed out in that 10-game stretch, I've noticed a lot of line drives, a lot of using the gaps, and what that showed me is every now and then they're going to get a home run, because the difference between a line drive swing and a home run is very, very small. When you're trying to go deep and you're trying to hit the home run, that's a pop out to the shortstop. Right? So don't try to hit a home run. Stick with the line drive approach, and the talent will show up in the long ball eventually.
How much confidence does that give a team, Lenny, when they know that they can win a game without having to hit a home run? If you can use the entire field, if you can play a little bit of small ball, you don't have to live and die by the home run, because that's probably how it's going to have to be in the postseason if they get there and if they get deep into the playoffs. How much confidence does that give a club? We can win a variety of different ways.
I think it's huge for confidence in a team to realize that they don't have to say, okay, we have to live and die by the home run. Because listen, home runs are going to show up. Sometimes they're not. You're going to run into a buzzsaw on the mound. But if you do run into that buzzsaw and you put the ball in play consistently, whether it's a ground ball through the hole or dropping a bunt every now and then, if you can score runs that way, that's very, very important. And especially with this Red Sox club, they can hit home runs. They can hit for average with that approach we just talked about, and they can also run. So you've got so many guys, whether it's Duran or Hamilton or Story, Eaton when he was up here. These are guys that if they're on first base, they might as well be on second base. It's an extra base hit, but they have to get on base.
Position if they get going,
if
and
it touches grass.
If that's guy on, if that's guy's at the plate. Let me ask you about Brayan Bello, obviously the starter for game 1 of this 3-game set between the Red Sox and the Dodgers. We talked about it with Devin Marrero, but I want your perspective on it too. We know he has the fastball, we know he has the changeup, but the slider and the cutter is something he's trying to work into that repertoire. How important is it in your estimation that he really develops either one of those pitches or both to have that extra, that extra tool, I guess, weapon in his arsenal? Yeah,
so this season, in my opinion, has been the absolute breakout season for Brayan Bello. And he's using his four-seam fastball more. He's using his cutter more. He's sprinkling in the changeup, which is a really good pitch when he spots it up, and the two-seamer as well. But if you look at what he's done in the past 3 starts, his swing and miss, his whiff rate has actually declined 6%. And I am totally fine with that. I don't want him going out there trying to get swing and miss, trying to strike everybody out. He's at his best when he's putting the ball on the ground and letting the defense take care of it. He's limiting the walks. His past 3 outings are a great example. He's walked 1 guy or less in his last 3 outings. He's striking guys out, but he's also putting the ball in play. His stuff's good enough to get a strikeout when he's not out there trying to strike these guys out.
First pitch strikes. It's important for everybody, regardless of who is on the hill. I sometimes felt, and you would know certainly better than I, but I sometimes felt that when Brayan Bello was on the hill, he found himself in a hitter's count a lot sooner than you would like. Has he improved in your estimation of being able to get more of those first pitch strikes?
Absolutely, and a lot of that has to do with confidence and knowing that, okay, my best fastball, my best cutter, whatever I'm throwing in this situation, whether it's a first or second pitch, is better than what the hitter's going to do on the field. You have to have confidence in that, or it's just not going to show up. If you're out there trying to pick on the corner and throwing that perfect, absolute perfect pitch, first pitch, it's just not going to work that way. Trust your stuff, go right after them. Aroldis Chapman's another great example. We talk about some of the best stuff in the big leagues.
Yeah.
His first pitch strike percentage this season is dramatically higher than his career rate, and look what he's doing this season.
All right, let's talk about Aroldis Chapman for a second. He was out here earlier working out, obviously. This is a guy, great signing by Craig Breslow. If we're going to rip on what the Red Sox are doing, we got to give him praise when they're doing good things as well. Aroldis Chapman was a tremendous signing. He's kind of pitching in reverse, and what I mean by that is he looks like Benjamin Button. This guy looks like he's 21 years old with stuff that's obviously ridiculous. What has made him so effective this season?
I mean, let's talk about 103.4, I think. That helps.
But you got to locate too, right?
Yes. I mean, the only time I threw 103.4 was when the radar gun was clicked at kilometers. Okay, that's the only time I ever sniffed that. He's fun to watch. But first and foremost, he's an absolute specimen. That doesn't just happen. He is a workout freak. I follow him on Instagram, and you can see towel drills and mechanical drills and all kinds of things he's doing in the offseason to perfect his craft. So you're talking about a work ethic. You're talking about an ability that he was born with as far as his genetics.
Yes, he's a big man.
Yes, and he's learning as he goes. At what, 37 years old, 16 years in the big league, something like that. He's still going out there and learning. And what he learned this year is trust the stuff. Get strike one. If you can do that, you're ahead in the count. You're in a pitcher's count. You can go out there and use that stuff to go out and get swing and miss with the slider, with the splitter, which he's showcasing as well, off of that big fastball.
Yeah, so it's not just starters, right? Strike one is key for anybody, regardless of a starter, obviously coming out of the bullpen. All right, let's talk about this team offensively. There's a lot of young kids in it. We've talked about that ad nauseum. How have you seen Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony, Ceddanne Rafaela, not Kristen Campbell because he's still in AAA, but those three in particular emerge as big leaguers in the short time that they've been here?
Well, the first thing that I noticed from them is their demeanor, right? There's a slow heartbeat that you don't often get for young rookies at 21, 22 years old, right? They show up, they work hard, and they look like they belong here, whether they're hitting the ball, whether they're not hitting the ball, because that's going to happen in baseball. You're going to struggle at times, but knowing that you belong here and continuing with the process is going to allow them to go out there and continue to get better at the big league level. At 21, I was playing an A-ball in Brooklyn. These guys are at the big league level right now, learning the game, and it helps that there's a lot of youngsters, maybe a grade or two ahead of them to help them along, as well as some veterans in Bregman and Story to kind of steer them and show them what a positive clubhouse atmosphere is and should be.
It's funny, when we were talking to the prospects earlier, they were just saying that when they landed here, Boston felt like home, which that's kind of what you would expect them to say. They're young, but they're not dumb. But they also said it felt like when they stepped on the field here at Fenway Park, it was like Fenway gave them a hug. And they have, I thought that was a really interesting way of putting it. That was really sweet. But also, it's nice that they have still young, relatively young guys right ahead of them, already at the big league level. I mean, that could be a product of the game now. We're kind of rushing guys up. But it also could be like, you know what? This is realistic for me if I do things the right way.
Yeah, I mean, it shows, hey, you're 21, 20 years old, you're a season, maybe two, possibly three away from pitching at Fenway Park because the door's open. It's a youth movement. They're embracing it right now. And if you can show that you can go through the minor league level and not only hit well, but make the adjustments from when you fail. And I think that's the biggest thing in the minor leagues when you're a prospect like these guys. Know how to fail.
Yeah. Well, they haven't failed at any level.
Exactly.
So that's their first dose of failure.
So you have to, at some point, show the Red Sox organization that you're going to be okay when you go through that 0 for 14 stretch or you boot 2 balls in a game. How do you pick yourself up from that? How do you go from there? You show them that you're mature enough to go out and recoup from there. Okay, now you might be ready for Fenway Park.
Yeah.
In regards to that big warm hug, I tell you what, there are draft picks and other organizations, I'm not going to name other organizations, kind of the small market, that people are like, whatever. But in Red Sox Nation at Fenway Park, everybody knows these guys. Everybody, because they've done research. They want to see these guys soon.
You're talking the fans.
Yes.
Yeah, the fans are so knowledgeable, and they know the farm system, to your point. They know, like, what this guy can do. Why aren't we calling him up? He's batting this. He's doing this. This is a fan base that is intelligent, but also has high expectations.
They know exactly what number prospect is in the organization at AA, AAA, whoever, and they're saying, okay, why is this guy not up, right? Because they care at the end of the day. When I first signed with the Red Sox in 2004, Bronson Arroyo came to me and said, listen, I've been here for a year now, and one thing I notice is when the Red Sox lose, the fans put the fork and the spoon down. They don't eat dinner that night. They're ticked off, and they felt like they lost too.
Right.
So go out and win. The fans will love you. If you go out there and give 100%, they will also love you, win or lose. Right? So they like that blue-collar, hard work ethic type of guy, and you got to embrace that as a player.
How many jam sessions did Lenny DiNardo and Bronson Arroyo have?
We had quite a few. We always used to take our guitars on the road. And, we had quite a few in different cities, for sure.
I bet you did. And he's a singer, too. Doesn't he sing as well?
He does sing. He does sing, which is why I need him around, because I can't sing a lick. I can't carry a tune, so I'm playing guitar. If you look at my Instagram, there's a couple videos of us actually playing guitars in the past few years.
Yeah, I would imagine, because I know that he's definitely into that. Setting the tone. Everyone says the game one, obviously, of a 3-game series or whatever the series is an important one because it makes a statement and sets the tone. How do you do that? I mean, I would imagine score early, score often.
Yeah, there's a couple ways to do it, right? Like you said, score early, score often, get the starting pitcher out of the game as soon as possible. But also, you can set the tone if you're starting that day. If you're Brian Bayo today, go out there and show them what you're all about. Start with strike one. It's about finishing at bats, finishing innings, and going right after these hitters and continuing that direction.
Yeah.
You know, when you start going 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. You walk 2 guys in an inning, you give up a double. That's a negative tone to set in your offense, and your defense can suffer because of it.
All right, let's take me back to the Lenny DiNardo pitching days. If you're looking up and down at this Dodgers lineup, keeping in mind Marcus Lynn Betts is not in it, who scares you the most?
I think that's the obvious. I mean, it's obvious with Shohei Ohtani,
right?
Oh,
Shohei. I was hoping he'd go out on a limb, like maybe, I don't know, Tommy Edman. I'm kidding. But yes, Shohei. How do you neutralize a guy that doesn't seem to be able to be neutralized?
Yeah, 5 home runs in the last 5 games. I think he's on pace for, 58 home runs?
50 billion, I think.
50 billion home runs.
Yes.
He hit 49 billion last year, right? He's on pace to beat his record. So, anytime you're going to face a lineup, Dodgers, Yankees, a quality lineup, there's certain guys that you have to highlight. Circle them, highlight them, whatever it is, and you have to be careful with them.
Oh, he got the ring? Okay, thank you. Buehler got the ring. All right. Go ahead. We're going to talk about Buehler's ring here in a second. But
perfect. Does this ring have does it open up? Does it have disco ball?
It doesn't have the disco ball,
something?
but it opens up and it's stupid.
But you just have to go back to my point. You have to be careful. Certain guys in the lineup, don't let them beat you.
Sure.
I'm highlighting Ohtani tonight. I cannot let Shohei Ohtani single-handedly beat me in this lineup. So if you can get through those 2 or 3.
Minus this first at-bat, are you throwing up 4 fingers every at-bat?
Depends on the situation. You got a guy on second base or a base open. Absolutely. I'd rather face the next couple guys in the lineup to get through it because, again, not only is he's a generational talent, but he's on fire right now. He's on fire. He's seeing beach balls. So be careful.
Our guy, Steve, our photographer, who I'm making work way harder than he needs to because I don't have an IFB, just told us that Walker Buehler did, in fact, receive his ring. I would imagine that's a bittersweet moment for him. I know that he loves being in Boston, but I do believe, Lenny, that Walker doesn't feel he has shown the Boston fan base what he's genuinely made up yet. I think he's on his way based on the last few outings. What's been your impression of him so far?
Look, he's been accountable. When he goes out there and he feels like he did not get the job done up to his expectations and Red Sox fans' expectations, he's been there after the games talking about it, saying, listen, I've been bad today. But, I feel like he has turned the corner as far as using his stuff effectively. He's one of those guys that throws the kitchen sink at you. He'll have 7 pitches.
Sure.
I'd rather see him go out there with 3, possibly 4 pitches.
Really
and have those
effective versus the quantity.
Exactly.
Right.
If he can do that, I feel like he's good enough. And now, especially, where I feel like he's found something, he can go out there and get the job done. But again, the equation is strike one.
Yes.
Get ahead with strikes, get them out with balls, use the movement and the location effectively over the velocity.
Yeah.
Velocity will get you so far, but if you can locate and use the movement, he should be okay.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Jared Carrabis about the ring because Walker Buehler just walked by and Carrabis was over there and Buehler just showed him the ring. I'm surprised Carrabis didn't try to take it, even though it's a Dodgers ring. But you know how Carrabis is.
I'm so curious about these rings. Every year they get more elaborate. They get so big.
They're so ridiculous. So in 2020, when the Dodgers won the World Series, it was the COVID year, but whatever. Everybody played 60 games. I got a ring. They were kind enough to give me one. and that one was ridiculous. This one's even more stupid than that one in terms of the diamonds and the size and all the things, and it's insane. So
I have one from 04.
They're crazy, right?
The 04 ring, I feel like it's classy. I can wear it to the car wash, right? I can wear it to the supermarket, right? Yeah. But these rings today, you got to wear it to a ball, right?
For
I mean,
sure.
You got to wear it to
mine's in a safe.
Yeah.
Not that I would wear it anyway because it's gigantic, but.
And I love the ring.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're continuing here. The rain is starting to come down, though, Lenny DiNardo. I'm not certain how long we're going to be out here.
It feels pretty good to me.
I don't know.
I'm cooling off a little bit.
I have to do unobstructed views later. I don't think my hair is really going to be. I apologize if my hair is up. We continue here on the batting practice show from Fenway Park. The Los Angeles Dodgers, the Boston Red Sox in town for a 3-game set. Much more to come right after this. All right, guys, I can hear. And what I mean by that is I can hear our producer and our director in our ear. It is good to have that, and it is also good to have you, Tim Neverett. Obviously, Red Sox fan, know this guy. Tim Neverett covered the Red Sox for quite some time, and now he's obviously a broadcaster for the Los Angeles Dodgers. From this area, from New Hampshire, welcome. What's it like when you come back here?
It's great. You know, we had an off day yesterday, so I went home to my hometown in Nashua. So I spent the day in Nashua, New Hampshire, and saw family up there, and it's great to come back. I mean, the years we were here, 16, 17, and 18, you know, we won 3 division titles and a world championship.
Because of you, right?
Well, yeah. Then I go to L.A. and we won a few.
I mean, there you have it.
No, I can't take all the credit. I think the ball players probably take more than me. Seriously, though. But it was great, and it was also great working with the Hall of Famer Joe Castiglione.
Sure.
You know, sitting side by side and shoulder to shoulder with him. We've got a lot of good memories, and I talked to him the other day, and he's on his way to Cooperstown to support Tom Hamilton from Cleveland, who's going to be inducted this weekend. And he misses. He said he's going to miss us this weekend. But it's even better when I come here and I get to see you, my old friend. And I'm so glad that Nesson is having you do what you're doing, and hopefully we'll see a lot more of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, just a fill-in role that I'm enjoying thoroughly. Let me ask you this, though. You mentioned you're from Nashua, New Hampshire, but there's also some Dodgers history there that you actually taught me about as far as some of the older generation of players. So tell folks watching at home kind of the tie with some of the Dodgers and Nashua, New Hampshire.
Well, where I grew up, there's a stadium called Holman Stadium, and it's an old stadium. Went up a long time ago, but in the 1940s, they were the Brooklyn Dodgers AAA club. And they had players like Roy Campanella and Don Newcomb. Walter Alston was the manager there.
Wow.
Branch Rickey was running the thing. And so in the 1940s, it also became the first integrated team in baseball. So they've got the number, 30, both numbers for both men. Campanella and Newcomb retired in the outfield, and there's signage. And even if you go downtown, there's a tire store in downtown Nashua, and there's a mural that somebody painted years and years ago of both of those men, and it says Nashua Dodgers.
That's awesome.
So the Dodgers had their farm team there, way before anybody else had a farm team in New England. And there's a great baseball history in New England because later the Eastern League had the Nashua Angels. The Angels were there for a year. Then the Pirates were there for a few years. They were playing against the then New Britain Red Sox. Roger Clemens pitched a game at Holman Stadium way back in the day. And I got to broadcast Pirates games when I was 19 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's kind of how I got the fever to do radio play-by-play and TV as well. But it's a great historical place, and, New England's got so much great baseball history. But a lot of people don't realize how much Dodger history is just up the road 45 minutes in Nashua.
Yeah, that's really incredible. Let me ask you about this Dodgers club. Obviously, intimately watching them every single day. You're on the call on AM 570 with the great Rick Monday. You do a lot of stuff on Sportsnet LA with this club as well. Give us a scouting report on this club. Obviously, we can see the wins and losses. We know the roster top to bottom. We know the talent. Give me a scouting report on what people should be watching for tonight.
Well, first, a scouting report on Rick Monday, because the great Rick Monday hit his first major league home run in this ballpark.
Oh, that's awesome.
Off of Dr. Jim Lonborg. Okay, so he faced him here anyway. But as far as the Dodgers are concerned, without Mookie Betts tonight, he's off personal reasons. We're not really sure yet. We haven't been told yet, but it's nothing physical. It's a personal reason. He's got something to do. So he's not in the lineup, which is unfortunate because a lot of fans, I'm sure, came here to see Mookie.
They love him.
And we hope to see him before the end of the weekend, maybe. But the guy who's leading off is pretty good.
I've heard of him.
Shohei Ohtani. He's not going to pitch in this series. He's going to pitch Wednesday in Cincinnati, but 100 miles an hour with the fastball. He's just been incredible throwing the ball, but hitting, he's unreal. And I'm glad people here in New England get a chance to see him up close and to see what he can do with this lineup. Guy hitting behind him tonight, Will Smith. You look what Cal Raleigh's done, right, as great offensive catcher in Seattle, but Will's right there with him.
Yeah.
And Will is a really good hitter, especially in the clutch, close and late. I mean, you saw Will enough, And you go down the list, Freddie Freeman starting to get things back again. He had a walk-off hit against the Twins on Wednesday. It was his 16th career walk-off hit. That's a lot.
It's a long time to be in this game.
Yeah. And, pitching tonight, too, is a local guy from Darien, Connecticut, and Boston College. Emmett Sheehan, coming back from Tommy John surgery. I just saw Emmett a short time ago. Wished him luck tonight, being home and pitching.
You talked to him on this start day?
Don't tell anybody.
Oh, my goodness. I won't tell anybody.
I know.
Don't tell anybody. Shh, don't say anything.
You know who used to talk on his pitch days here? Back when I was here, they had a knuckleballer named Stephen Wright.
Okay.
He would go over by the dugout and just lean up against the wall.
And just talk to folks?
On his pitch days. And just, whatever. You could go talk to him about anything.
That reminds me of Mike Bolsinger, who used to, maybe a little too loosey-goosey. He's not in the league anymore, but it does remind me of anytime he started, he would just talk to you like it was nothing. All right, so we know the Dodgers obviously are formidable. They've had some scuffles out of the break, even going into the break, honestly, but they're still in first place in a National League West. What do you like about this Red Sox club?
I like the fact they've got some really good young players. I also like the fact that with those good young players, you're still in the wild card hunt, right? The Red Sox are in the wild card hunt. They should be there. You hope they'll be there. The guy pitching tonight, Brian Bayo, I know he's been pitching really well lately. People I've talked to about him today here at Fenway have said that he's been really, really terrific. Yeah. And the guy tomorrow, Garrett Crochet.
Just ridiculous, right?
Last year when we were in Chicago against the White Sox and Crochet was pitching, I'm like, how are you supposed to hit this guy? How can anybody hit him? Anyway, he's going to be formidable, and you get to see Clayton Kershaw pitch this weekend, which I know a lot of people will enjoy that because, he's a future Hall of Famer, and just to see him in his later years, we don't know if this is it or not. Everybody asks the question, is it it?
He hasn't said it publicly.
No,
there's speculation that it is, but that's certainly not been told to me.
Yeah, but the older you get in anything, you're going to speculate that it's the last year. But, Kershaw can still get guys out. And it's not just the curveball, and certainly not, the fastball is a good setup pitch, and it's the slider for him. He's actually mixed in a splitter. Ooh. There's your scouting report.
Does he call it a splitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He'll throw that in once in a while.
Okay.
Not often, but once in a while you'll see it.
Let me ask you this. We have a couple more minutes here before we go to break. You spent a lot of time in this unbelievably beautiful park covering an unbelievably historic team. What are some of your favorite moments as a Red Sox broadcaster?
Oh, gosh. There's so many. My first baseball game I ever saw was here. When I was a little kid. came up through one of the tunnels on the third base side. I couldn't believe how green the grass was.
I mean, it stands to reason you were a Sox fan growing up.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And, you know, we had the old little megaphones full of popcorn where the bottom was empty, and it was so fun. But, I mean, I think when I was in college and I lived on the other side of Kenmore Square, when the Red Sox won the pennant in 1986 against the Angels, I was here for Game 6 and 7 sitting in the bleachers.
Goodness.
And Kenmore Square was an absolute zoo. You know, it was one of my great memories of the 86 team, and later in life getting to know a lot of those players and work around some of those guys and get to, you know, associate with them. That's been a real thrill. But of course, when I was here at this ballpark, I mean, I think of one of the nights when Rafael Devers hit a home run off his former teammate now, Aroldis Chapman, Sunday night baseball game against the Yankees, and nobody thought anybody was going to get around on him, especially a lefty.
Yeah.
And he hit one out there by the triangle, and it was all she wrote. That was a big night, and Mookie's hit some big home runs here. You know, I think David Ortiz's final year when it was Big Papi Palooza, we had 330 and 100 guys on that team. There's so many great moments. None better than working alongside Joe Castiglione and going through the 18 season. We win the division series at Yankee Stadium, win the ALCS in Houston. Joe falls out of his chair in the booth calling the final out. And you know what? He never saw it.
Oh, he never saw the out?
He never saw the
out.
out.
On the ground. He's like,
he looked at me. His headphone was wrapped around his head. And he's looking at me like, what happened? I give him a thumbs up. And he goes, he caught it. It was Andrew Benintendi who made the catch. And that's how Joe saw the final out.
That's amazing.
And,
you helped out. That's teamwork right there. You helped out your teammate.
Yeah, and then we had a great time, you know, much to the chagrin of Dodger fans, though, but at Dodger Stadium.
The Red Sox were the better team.
Yeah, they were good that year. They were really good.
Without question.
Yeah.
Tim Never, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. We appreciate it very much. I would say good luck to you, but I'm just not going to say anything on this broadcast.
That's okay.
It's always awesome to see you. Thanks for taking the time. Welcome home.
Great to see you. Always good to see Lenny Denard. Of course, Stevie back on the other side of the camera.
That's right.
It's great to be back here. Thank you.
Welcome home.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. All right, guys, welcome back. We got about 10-15 minutes left of the batting practice show today as the Dodgers obviously are taking BP behind us. Jared Carrabis joining me now. We are doing double duty. Jared and I and Jonathan Papelbon are going to be on Unobstructed Views a little bit later on NESN Plus and NESN 360. This is a big series. It's fun, right? A lot of, a lot of big names, a lot of teams still trying to prove that they're, kind of scuffling out of the break was a fluke.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. We're not going to get to see Shohei Ohtani pitch in the series, so that's very sad.
Stinks.
Tomorrow, we get to see Kershaw versus Crochet. Very excited about that. But, yeah, the Dodgers have not been playing well as of late. They did have an exciting walk-off victory against the Twins on Wednesday, so it's like, you know, kind of scuffling, but had an exciting win to come into this series. The Red Sox coming out of the break, kind of scuffling, had an exciting win in their series finale against the Phillies. So I'm interested to see how we look in this series, because in the losses against Philly, didn't look great. But then in the 2 games that they did win, you had a signature moment with the Breggy home run in Wrigley and then the Narvaez home run in Philly. So it's like they can look great and horrible in the same series. It's very bizarre.
Were you just talking to John Henry? Did I make that
Did
up?
you see that?
I did.
People talking about that?
Do you want to share anything with your coworker, your friend?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did he say?
Well, I mean, if you want the honest truth, we were literally talking about the Beatles and Pink Floyd the entire time.
Oh, well, I mean,
yeah,
that's
everyone's
fair.
like, oh my
So
God,
you have that kind of
would love to be a
relationship.
fly on the wall for that conversation. I wonder what they were talking about.
Did you tell him about your London moment with Pink Floyd and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We were talking about David Gilmour telling me to bleep off when I saw him in London. We talked about the Beatles tour that I went on for my dad's birthday. And, we talked about Pink Floyd. He's seen Pink Floyd in concert. I'm very envious of that.
So nothing Red Sox related. If you all right, he's not telling us. He's too cool for that. If you could have a conversation that you wanted to disclose with us about what you would tell John Henry about the trade deadline, what's going on, what this club needs, what would it be?
The one thing I would say, my little piece of advice, I don't want rental pitchers.
Okay.
I don't want rental pitchers. Last year, we went the rental route, didn't work out. This year, you have some valuable trade pieces, some commodities that are sought after by teams that have some pieces that would, look very enticing in a Red Sox uniform. My advice would be, if not this deadline, because I don't think it has to be, this offseason, use your trade assets to bring in controllable starting pitching. Don't go out there and get me a guy that's going to be here for a couple of months, and then if you don't win the World Series, then they're gone, and then who knows what happens with the prospects. So, that's what I would say.
Okay. Do the Red Sox have to make a move at the deadline?
Yes.
And what is that move?
What is it? There's a number of ways. Are we still on TV?
Yes, we are.
I was going to say,
Stevie,
the camera that was on us is just gone.
No, it's gone. I know, it's a little weird. It's a little
So we're just
off-putting
doing
at
B-roll
first.
right
Like, they're
now?
kind of over us, and
All
they just
right.
left, and we're just sitting here talking.
Just
But no,
making sure.
Steve's doing his job.
Got
Tristan
it.
Cassis is in the house.
Sure.
So Steve is back. Hello,
All right,
we
we're
are
back.
back.
All right, we're
Hello,
still on
Steve.
TV.
No, so you just keep talking,
All right,
okay? Don't
still
worry
talking,
about what
still
Steve's
talking,
got going
still
on. He's
talking.
doing his job,
Yep.
okay?
I would look at a catcher. I think we definitely need a catcher. That would be outstanding to add someone in the backstop position. First base, I know everyone keeps talking about first base. Like Josh Naylor just got traded and people are disappointed. I'm good with my platoon. I like Romy.
I like Romy.
Toro.
Okay.
Yeah, like if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like leave that alone. But if you can go out there and bring in a starting pitcher to help out Garrett Crochet in the rotation, no disrespect to Lucas Giolito.
Sure.
He's been great of late. Couple of bumps in the road over his last couple. Walker Buehler's been looking better as of late.
Yeah.
Brian Bayo has turned things around as of late, but it would be a huge difference maker if you were able to go out there, bring in a starting pitcher that can slot right in behind Garrett Crochet, and be able to be someone that's going to be here next year. Because this is not the goal.
You don't want a temporary fix.
No, I want someone that's going to be a part of the run that the Red Sox are about to go on.
Okay, so Tristan Casas is in the house. Stevie D was just shooting him earlier. It seems like he's ahead of schedule. What are you hearing?
I mean, last time I saw him, he was in a boot. So
So
this
that's
is
good. He's not in a boot anymore.
Not in a boot anymore. He's out here talking to the fans, which
Talking
is
to the peeps.
something that he's been known to do. He's definitely a people person. He loves the fans. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to see him again this year. But he's someone that is a piece that should and would factor into what the Red Sox have going on moving forward, which is kind of what we're talking about now. Like, give me some starters, give me some people that are going to be here, not just for this year, but for next year as well. Tristan Casas is one of those guys.
All right, so Tristan Casas obviously entered the season as the Red Sox starting first baseman. You like the platoon with Romy and Abraham Toro. What do you like about that?
Well, I mean, I like the fact that Romy Gonzalez is one of the best hitters in baseball against left-handed
That
pitching.
helps.
Yeah, he went through that little 0 for 20, 1 for 21 stretch, whatever it was, but then broke out of it with a grand slam. Even with that stretch where he wasn't performing well at the plate, you're still getting solid defense. And if you kind of like look at the last month and change, still one of the best hitters against left-handed pitching. Abraham Toro, he's kind of just been one of those guys that he's making the plays he needs to make. And against right-handed pitching, what more can you ask for from a platoon guy?
Agreed. Weird that Mookie's not in the lineup. I'm sure fans obviously would have loved to have seen him. He's taken some time off for personal reason. I don't know what it is. It's not anything physical. But I know fans, he was beloved here.
Mm-hmm. Still is.
Yeah.
Still is. You know, I think it's one of those things where, you know, you look, now that Rafi's gone, you look around the stands and you will still see a ton of Mookie Betts jerseys, Red Sox Mookie Betts jerseys in the stands. There's a reason why when he comes back here, he gets a standing ovation. He won a championship. He won an MVP. He's a good guy, plays the game the right way. He's easy to root for. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a personal issue with him. I don't know if he'll be here tomorrow, but yeah, he's not here today.
Okay. When you look at this Dodgers lineup as they continue to take BP behind us, obviously Red Sox taking BP first. They're at home. Obvi. Aside from I'm going to make you go out on a limb. We get the Shoheis, right? We get the Freddies. Mookie's not in the lineup today. Who else in that lineup not necessarily scared you, but who can't you let beat you?
Ooh.
If you take out the MV3s out.
Man. Is it
Tommy Edman?
Well,
Is it
Tommy Edman? Dallas Braden loves Tommy Edman. Love Tommy Edman. Is it Pages?
Andy Pages?
Yeah,
okay.
he's a dude that I think has kind of broken out this year and is someone that you should be afraid of if you're not. Max Muncy, before he got hurt, he got his eyes corrected, and he was
turns out very
destroying baseballs. Yes. But obviously,
optometry.
Yes, the injury to him, that's not going to be a factor. But yeah, I would go Andy here.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
I'm actually surprised at the turnout of Red Sox fans in this series. I think that I've been here for Dodger series in the past, and it's a sea of blue. I'm not saying that Dodger Nation didn't show up. They are very well represented, but shout out to Red Sox fans because it looks like, at least for the time being, I'm seeing more Red Sox jerseys.
I'm glad. All right, Freddie Freeman in the cage right now. This is Frederick. Frederick Freeman. Frederick Charles, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Frederick Charles. But this is a guy that he's lovable. He loves hugs, but he can smash.
He loves hugs?
He loves hugs.
Oh, I want to hug him. Yeah.
I don't think you can.
He might want to hug. I don't know. You never know.
I don't think he wants me to go.
Ask him.
No,
Ask him.
He's taking BP right now. Yes, I know.
Be like, will you hug Jared? I think, there's a chance that he might say yes.
I'm not going to ask him to hug you. If I was going to ask Freddie Freeman, I would ask him to hug me.
I mean, I think
maybe we do like a group hug.
Yeah, be like, hey, Freddie, come on, come hug us.
He loves hugs. He loves hugs.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just bummed that Mookie's not here because I got to interview Mookie for the first time in spring training.
Were you super giddy?
I was very giddy.
That's fair.
Because when we're basically standing on the ground, that was the only place that I ever had communicated with Mookie prior to that interview. We would come out here. The only thing we would ever talk about is sneakers. We never talked about baseball.
Okay, like that. I'm sure the guys appreciate that too, that you don't want to just talk about baseball.
Yeah. But then we did an interview in spring training, and that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool moment to have.
It is on my mission. It is my mission, rather. It is on my list to make sure before this season is over that you have a conversation with Nomar Garcia-Parra, because I know that is your dude.
Yeah.
Your boy's birthday was just the other day, July 23rd. I asked him to come on Unobstructed Views tonight. He's out of the country.
Where is he?
I don't know.
You can't country dox him?
Excuse me.
God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you. I don't know. I'm not going to interrupt. I'm assuming he's having a vacation with me and the kids.
Okay.
But the point is, it is my mission in life to get you a conversation with Nomar.
I would
season is
die.
over.
I don't think I'd be prepared for that.
Oh, you'd be prepared.
Yeah, but here's the thing: like, if I were to have a conversation with Nomar, I would want it to be in person. I can't have it be digital because there's no connection.
No, I know. And you'd also want, and Nomar is very private, and he's also like kind of when the season's over, you do not hear from him at all. So you'd want him to be in person, and also for him to be engaged and reciprocate.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's very private.
Are you saying that we should take a trip to LA? Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
Should we take Unobstructed Views on the road to LA?
Yes, if they pay for it, I'm down. We got to bring Pap though. Can't just zoom in, Pap.
I feel like Pap's hard to get in person. He's very elusive, that Jonathan Papelbon.
He is.
Hard guy to lock down.
Know.
Look at Dave Roberts.
Look at him.
Look at this guy.
Look at Dave Roberts.
What a guy.
Look at him. Just talk.
He was Joe. He was the first man to walk down the red carpet at the All-Star game that I almost passed out, died of dehydration.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. You went to Atlanta.
Sure did.
How was that experience
Very
for
hot,
you?
very sweaty.
Hotter
Yeah,
than
very
what
similar
it was
to today.
Good
Yeah, this is
Lord.
also a very sweaty situation that we're dealing with here in Boston, Massachusetts. But yeah, Atlanta, very hot, very hot.
And tell me again your role at the All-Star game.
Just, life of the party.
Okay, sure.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Just a vibes guy down there at Media Day. It's very funny when, you're at Media Day for the All-Star game and you have all these other people that are asking these very professional questions, and then I roll up and you can see the look on their face, be like, oh, God, what is he?
If you're at cereal,
what
what
is this
cereal
guy
would you be?
about to ask me? Look at Lou Merloni. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Look at how handsome Lou is.
Look at
Stevie D.
Stevie
Get a
D,
shot of
can
Lou
you get
right
Lou
there.
Merloni? Just
One of the most
handsome
men.
Just a handsome specimen,
Yeah.
that Lou. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He does look like he could be my father. A lot of people say that.
Just
Yeah,
handsome.
look at this guy.
We're talking about you. Just handsome.
Yeah, get him up here. There he is.
Yeah, you're on camera.
Loomer.
Yeah,
we're live.
hello.
We're live right now.
How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, I gave you the compliment of one of the most handsome men to cover the Red Sox. How do you
The
feel about
most
that?
handsome, I think.
The
you
only
said.
reason why he says that is because we get a lot of father-son thing. You know what I mean?
If
So
he
he wants to call me
actually-
handsome so people can say, well, he's your kid.
But if he was actually your son, would you be disappointed?
In him? No, you kidding me? Look at the success this kid has become. Look at the biceps.
I love how he's flexing his pecs,
My pecs,
as
yeah.
if that was a barometer of success.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. I tell him he's success and he flexes for me. I'm surprised he's wearing sleeves.
Yeah,
All right.
that's true. That's a great point. Me and Loomer have been working together for a decade now.
Working together, or working out together.
A little bit of both.
Okay,
You don't work
great.
out.
Yeah, I work
Look at
out.
me. I don't work out.
Yeah,
All
a
right.
little bit
Well, thanks for coming over. But I guess apparently the BP show's done. So we're
we're
going to
done?
go ahead and say goodbye. Do not forget. Are you on the call tonight, sir?
I am.
All right. So OB and Lou Merloni
And Will
and Will Middlebrooks. It's a 3-man booth. This is a big series. Jared and I and
Stevie D, get the Section
Papelbon
10 shirt over there. Get the Section 10
are
shirt.
going to be on Unobstructed Views.
Oh,
Bye.
yeah.